So Brian, you've got your own television presenter training company. Tell me, what are some of the reasons that people are coming to you? What do you do for them?
I think the main reason, or one of the main reasons that people come to us, is they find that they have a personality that, if they're out with friends, they really communicate well. In business meetings, they communicate well and they crack gags and make people laugh. But as soon as a lot of people get in front of the camera, they freeze. They feel nervous, they feel under pressure, they just completely, the shutters come down, and all that personality that they had before, all that fun and enthusiasm for the message that they wanted to get across, just completely goes in a sort of a white fear. And what we do is we bring the shutters up and we take away that fear and allow them to engage with people, to engage with the camera, just as they do when they're out with their friends, just as they do when they're in those business meetings. And so we really believe that inside everybody there is that enthusiasm, there is that presenter, there is somebody who can communicate well, and there is that personality. And what we do is just show people how to find it and not to let the camera put them off.
Yeah, last 5 days have been really, really enjoyable. I came on the first day, I think probably like most other people, feeling quite nervous I didn't really know what to expect. Thought maybe, might take it easy for the first couple of days, mostly theory, but we kind of jumped right in, at the deep end, kind of got stuck in straight away.
How did you feel about jumping in there at the beginning? How did you feel about
it? At the beginning, really, really nervous, but looking back on it, it was definitely kind of the best approach, because you just didn't get time to kind of to dwell on it or kind of build up any sort of major anxiety. You just went in and did it, and everyone, everyone's in exactly the same boat in the beginning. So I think we all kind of grew together, and that gave everyone, I think, a lot of confidence. And yeah. And
you had a particular hang-up, didn't you? Because you're an actress.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, I don't have any worries about being in front of the camera when I'm acting, and I think that's because I always have the character as like a buffer between me and the critic. So if people don't like what they see, then I'll be like, I don't take it personally. I'm like, well, they don't like the character, or they didn't like the story. Maybe it wasn't that well produced or whatever. But it's not that they don't like me, because they don't know me. And so I think my anxiety in the beginning came from the fact that for the first time I was going to be in front of the camera as me, and so people were going to be judging me and my personality, and that was really daunting in the beginning, really daunting, yeah.
So, I mean, you spent 15 minutes in front of the camera yesterday.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
And you did really well, I thought. If someone had said that you were going to be doing that to you last week, suggested that you were going to be doing that last week, how...
I just wouldn't have believed it. Even like the first day, we started off doing sort of 20, 30 seconds in front of the camera, and that seemed like, a massive deal. And then when you get to sort of third or fourth day and you're spending 15 minutes, just you, talking and in front of the camera, then it's actually quite an amazing achievement if you think about it, and to do that comfortably and sort of relatively confidently as well, gives you a really massive kind of boost, yeah.
So how do you feel now? If someone in the future said to you, let's just do a little piece to camera, how would you feel?
I'd feel fine. Actually. I feel confident now that I could do most sort of basic presenting. Definitely, it's kind of equipped me with not only kind of the skills and sort of the basics, to sort of good presenting, but it's also given me that little boost in confidence that you need to kind of really do a good job. So yeah, I don't think I'd have any problems with it at all now.
Everybody has different problems, but with our experience, we'll look at people and we'll say, okay, this is what that person's doing, and we can solve it for them. This is what that person's doing, and we can solve it for them. And then they can take those techniques away with them, and they can practice them on their own. Obviously, the more you practice, the better you get. And what they'll find is once they get into that presenter mode, that behaviour pattern in front of the camera, and once they're used to that, they'll take that with them forever. They'll never forget it. It's like riding a bike, or actually one of the things we say on our courses, it's like driving a car. When you first get in the car, there's so much to remember. You remember the first time you started driving?
Yeah.
The mirror, signal, manoeuvre, that's just a start. You've got the clutch, the brake, the accelerator. Then you've got to worry about steering and the handbrake before you leave, and mirror, signal. There's so much to worry about when you start driving for the first time. Now, most of us get in the car, and the main thing we do is we look for what CD we're going to put on.
Yeah.
We're more interested in the music because it's second nature, and whatever comes up round the corner of the road, we're confident enough to handle it. It's exactly the same with presenting. Once you've trained and you're well accustomed to it, you have the confidence to go out there and present in any format, whether it be online, whether it be on TV. And it also works for radio as well, because it's all in the voice and we can hear the enthusiasm in the voice as well. The same principle.
So what kind of a knock-on effect do you think that could have on a person's life generally?
Well, I mean, I truly believe that if you're confident enough to present on camera, and work on TV and on radio, then in your everyday life, your confidence, it just exponentially grows. You have confidence in yourself, your opinions, your ideas, and it almost releases you into being more creative and not being afraid that people are going to knock you down and put you down, and knowing that on the very rare occasion that anybody will do that you'll be able to handle it. You know, I remember when I was a kid, if I made an opinion in the classroom or early business, when I was a young businessman, if I made an opinion and somebody knocked it down, I would feel myself going red and getting nervous and thinking, oh, stupid, I shouldn't have said that. And it's the worry and the fear of not being taken seriously. But once you overcome that, and once you have the confidence in yourself, other people can see that. They can just look into your eyes, and they know whether you're confident, and they will be have more respect for you. They will listen to your opinions because you value your own opinion, and you really project that when you truly believe it. How are you feeling now?
Well, when I arrived on the first few days, I did feel quite nervous, which I found slightly unexpectedly, because I've done some presenting in the past. I kind of thought I could walk in and I'd know most of it already, and that I could, that it would be fairly easy for me to do. But as we were going through the week, I realised, and Brian told me, that I did have the basics of stance and keeping gaze of the camera sorted, but that I needed to let go and show my personality more, that wasn't coming across. So over the past few days, I've been given the opportunity to do that, step slightly out of my comfort zone. I've doing things like shopping TV, which scared the life out of me when we first got told we were going to do it. 15 minutes in front of camera just talking, trying to sell a subject, was very daunting for me because I'd only done short links, pieces to camera before. But having done it, it gave me a lot of confidence that I could do it, that I could go in and speak to the camera, keep people interested for 15 minutes. So from that I gained a lot. It gave me a lot of confidence.
So the short pieces now.
The short pieces seem really easy now that once you've spoken to the camera for 15 minutes, 30 seconds seems like nothing. Yeah, it's over. You go to talk and say more, and then they're saying cut, you're done. Yeah. So
I've noticed the difference even from yesterday with you.
Yes.
There was still a few little nerves yesterday, I think.
Still, yes, there was.
Today you've come in and you've absolutely nailed the show reel. And I'll be really interested to watch yours, because it was a breeze, because yours were just done in 1 or 2 takes.
Yeah.
I think most of the time.
I've definitely come out of my shell over the past 5 days, I'd say. Yeah, become a lot more relaxed in front of camera.
So really, under the guise of television presenting training, you're actually developing people's crucial life skills.
Well, funny you should say that, because on a lot of the courses that we run, people do leave saying, this has been like such a boost to my confidence in not just the skills that we came in to learn, but as you say, in their entire life. So the life skills, they go out there, they find themselves going, you know what, I'm just going to go and have a go at whatever it might have been that before they were a little bit worried about, a little bit scared about doing. It's like, what is the worst thing that can happen. So yeah, go out there and do it, and if you go out there confidently with enthusiasm and passion for what you're doing, then all the people involved that you come across and the obstacles that you come across, you just have that passion that will drive you through that. And it really is about just having a have a go attitude and thinking, I'm not going to be perfect every time, but at least I'm going to have a good go. And from that, you get better and better and better. The one thing that we can guarantee is if you don't try, if you don't put yourself out there and have a go, then nothing will change.
I didn't think I would learn so much within a week. And I didn't know how quickly I could sort of like change and adapt to the situation that I was in. I was nervous. I was definitely nervous. I didn't want to do it. I was shaking. I kept on thinking to myself that, I would say something wrong. I would just completely look stupid, but it wasn't too bad.
So by the end of it now, if I were to ask you to get in front of camera, how would you feel? I mean, you are in front of camera now. You're not speaking to camera.
Yeah.
But if you were just to have to do a little piece in front of camera, would you be nervous about that now?
Not at all. I could happily just get up and do a piece to camera. I wouldn't feel nervous about it like I would have done maybe if you asked me last week. But it's definitely been worth it.
Cool.
So it sounds like that this is really useful for all different kinds of people. I mean, what kind of people would be typically coming on your course?
Well, we have people who are interested in becoming TV presenters, working in front of the camera, whether it be TV, on websites or radio, and many of the students do go on to actually fulfil those dreams, and we have people working now. You may have heard of Duncan Bannatyne. He was here. You may have heard of Charlie Brooker from BBC. Again, he was here. And we have lots and lots of people go on to actually fulfil those dreams. Other people come from a more business point of view, from the necessities of the job they're doing. They're finding more and more of the time that actually what they need to do is communicate to offices around the world via the internet. I mean, Skype is the obvious example, where it's a very simple setup. It's like a telephone video call, really, but they have like a conference call set up these days. And so they are still presenting in a way to, it might be 10 people, it might be 100 people, but that communication to get those business messages across and those business ideas across, the basic communication skills is still essential. And so we're getting more and more business people coming to us wanting to enhance those skills, wanting to make sure that they can communicate those messages via the video phones, via online videos and streaming and all that.
And also people perhaps that want to get a job interview and all those skills, that confidence. Once you've got that confidence, then it feels almost like you can just go into anywhere and be the boss.
It really does. If you can stand up and do live and interactive TV where there's multi-cameras, you get people talking in your ear as well, you've got lights on you, you've got a number of different cameras set up looking at you with all sorts of people walking around. It can be a bit intimidating the first time you do it. And this is why, as we said at the beginning, this is why people freeze and they're worried and they're scared of the whole situation. But with the right little bit of training, with the right confidence, then they can project the messages they want to. They have the confidence to communicate. And yet you can take those into all areas of life, because if you're confident enough to stand up and do that, then doing a speech at, a wedding or doing a presentation somewhere suddenly becomes an awful lot easier. It's like, if you're a professional footballer, if you go down and do the mini leagues, it's incredibly easy. However, if you've never played football before and you go there, it's like, oh my goodness, what am I doing?
What made you come on the course in the first place?
Really just to get a little bit more experience of using the camera for more for training purposes, because of my training company background, rather than for TV presenting itself.
So are you going to be in front of camera making videos of your own?
Yes.
For your own company?
Yes.
So how did it feel beforehand? What kind of apprehension did you have?
Well, I think the biggest problem I had was that I was spending a lot of time, there was a lot of downtime because I was spending so much of my time redoing again and again, trying to look professional, etc., rather than being who I am.
So you were doing lots of takes?
Yes, okay. Yeah, over and over again,
And what
drove
have
me
you-
mad.
Yeah, I've been through it myself. What have you learned here then? What's changed for you?
To really just be myself on camera and be no different, rather than trying to just be completely professional throughout and it be absolutely staged. To just be who I am, and that will shine through anyway. People will see it for what it is, which is genuine.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest thing. It's been great fun, and I'd recommend it to anybody actually.